Jerry Hall?
I'll get off of that stuff and leave it to the city council and the meetings.
Thank you.
I have two questions first. One is, how much funds do we have right now to sustain the parks? To keep them open right now?
How much funds do we have to sustain the parks right now?
Whatever do we have in funds to keep them open?
About 6 months.
And how soon?
And we're into the third month.
Oh, wow. So we only got 3 more months right around New Year's. How soon can it be before we can get this put before the people in an election again?
How soon can we get it before an election? Probably March.
March. So we need 6 months worth of income here to keep it open.
Right.
Well, I think everybody's discussed a lot of stuff. You know, the things about replacing the solar stuff and all that, that's great. But our immediate issue has to be funds to keep it open right now.
Right.
Because the sooner
Yes.
thing in March, if we can get it done, we'll have it done.
Our immediate goal is to raise the funding to keep them open.
Somebody brought up senior citizens and fixed income, which I am both. And I can tell you that I could save bottles and cans for one person and pay that $28 fee in about 4 months for one person. So senior citizens, I don't think there's any reason they can't help out here. And as a senior citizen, I'm looking out here at all these kids that are playing tonight. And I know when I was a kid, I've never had any children of my own, but I can tell you when I was a kid, I lived at the parks. I mean, I literally lived there. I don't know what I'd have done. I mean, Little League was my favorite time as a kid. And I don't know what I'd have done without those parks. So everybody needs to step up. I think that one of the best places to get people to maybe voluntarily pay the $28 is through the schools and the churches to initiate programs to get the kids to take literature home. You know, the city, it's expensive to mail it out to the whole city. So that's another cost, right? I learned that, right? And but if we go through the schools and the kids involved, I mean, that's what it's all about, is the kids and maybe the functions that you have here, like Charlie Pincock's. I think that's a good source, is to go through the schools and the churches to get the people. Not everybody that lives in Wildomar lives here right now, that's for sure.
Right.
And everybody that's here is probably concerned enough to give the $28. I'm concerned about the people that didn't show up tonight contributing that $28 again. We've got to get a hold of them.
Marcia Swanson has an idea about mailing out.
When I heard the ideas and that everybody was willing to pay their $28 or more, in some cases $1,000, and it is expensive to mail, I think we can get our utility companies, our water company, to put an envelope that says "Save Our Parks." I will pay for the envelopes for the first mailing. If you know a printer that will help, we can keep them going out every month free into your utility bill. And if you can only send $5, if you can send your 28, or you can send more. But if we get those envelopes out to everyone, you get people involved from your block, your community. We need to put a committee together of all of you, because the hard part is going to get it passed. When you need that many votes to get it passed, that's what it's going to take, is people that are willing to go door to door in their neighborhood and say, please support our parks, even if it's just with your vote.
George Cambero, who is also on the Parks Committee.
You know, it brings back good memories, bad memories. I mean, there was so much, you know, tension, to so much friction that we went on. I mean, I remember setting up in meetings, you know, long meetings, and to the point that people just got, you know, really irate. You know, and I mean, this is what got me involved. Back when the parks were closed, I was minding my own business, working, and then my kids didn't have a place to play. So, you know, so I made a commitment that, you know, that I was going to have the parks open until the parks were open. And I've been, you know, I was involved from the beginning to the end. And I'm still in the, you know, one of the RDA directors, Lakeland Village, Wildomar, representing Wildomar. And, you know, I do walk the talk, you know, and what Doug said, that he will do 1,000, I will do 500.
Cool,
And
thank you.
This is how, how strong I feel. And also, in my profession, I retired from El Centro Valley of 30 years, so I know how to do a lot of the things that, when it comes down to water. So I talked to Paula, and I'm a water resources consultant. That's my job right now. And I'm going to be working with the city to see if we can bring back the well. It is easier to bring it back than to drill a new well. It's a lot easier that we don't have to create so much paper. So I'll be working maybe with the county, with you guys, to see what we can do with it.
Thank you, George.
So, thank you.
George, would we bring the windmill back?
We can get creative.
Marcia says she has a windmill she can donate.